Do you hate children? Want to scar one for life while claiming plausible deniability? Then have I got the movie for you. Welcome to Media Spectrum, where stories still matter. I'm your host, Daniel, and today we are talking about The Brave Little Toaster. So this is a childhood favorite of mine that I watched a lot as a little guy. And the thing is, I've, over the last few years, frequently seen this movie on list of, most disturbing children's movie. I don't remember it that way. I remember this as just a very nice, fun little childhood adventure. So is it really that fucked up? Yes. Yes, it is. And the fact that it didn't even register as such probably says a lot about my early years. But less said about that, the better. And full spoilers for this movie. I can't get into this without the spoilers, so full spoilers going forward. You have been warned. Things start innocently enough. We have a house full of inanimate objects. They're just waiting for their young master to return so their lives can have some sort of purpose again, and this is basically Toy Story, isn't it? Like, seriously, a group of anthropomorphized objects go on a journey to find their beloved human master. It's a very similar setup. Now, they do go in some different directions. Toy Story mostly focuses on a pair of toys while the rest stay at home, whereas this is a little more of a group ensemble piece. And in this case, the young master has actually grown up. It's been a lot longer. But the initial premise is quite similar. And considering this came out about 8 years earlier, I think we can reasonably guess where Pixar got some of their ideas from. But whereas Toy Story does have some dark moments, it ain't got nothing on this shit. Even just the initial setup, where these toys have been left alone in a vacation cabin for 10 years, where they're just playing Cinderella, keeping the place clean, having no idea if their master's ever going to come pick them up again or not, is a lot more sad than the initial premise of Toy Story, which is basically just a comedy of errors. But in fairness, this is a more subtle sort of disturbing that only the adult viewers are going to pick up on. Kids aren't going to notice this. What the kids will notice is the deranged air conditioner.
What are you laughing at?
Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all.
Now, they may not really appreciate the fact that it's Phil Hartman doing an impression of Jack Nicholson from The Shining, but they absolutely will pick up on the menace from this guy. And not only is he intense, he gets so worked up about being stuck in the wall that he blows a fuse. Literally. So imagine having a cranky old bastard living upstairs who one day goes off on such a tirade that he has a stroke and dies. That's how this G-rated family film starts. And it just gets worse from there. Like, half this group ends up sacrificing themselves along the way. Lamp basically gives himself the Green Mile treatment.
Is this normal?
God, the smell.
Oh.
He's cooking that! Like cooking him good!
Kirby has a seizure and nearly chokes on his own power cord, and Toaster herself just yeets herself into a mechanical death trap. But all of them, even the AC, at least do get fixed and brought back because they are inanimate objects, so fine. So it's a little less like self-deletion and more like self-mutilation. It's still pretty grim self-sacrifice. You know who doesn't get to come back, though? The Blender. That poor, terrified Blender who just straight up gets the Eli Roth treatment. right before all these malevolent objects start singing a song called B Movie. You know, a B movie, the sort of low-budget, genre-heavy shit that inspired Tarantino. Gotta love the subtlety. You know who else doesn't get to come back? The Cars. In the car lot, who sing a song called Worthless about how they, as broken down vehicles, have no more worth in life and have accepted the abyss as that insidious giant magnet sucks them up and drops them off on the conveyor belt of doom. God, Jesus Christ, I've seen Werner Herzog films more cheerful than this.
I decided to move to Orlando to be closer to Disney World.
Oh, and perhaps most upsetting of all, the flower. The poor little flower who sees its reflection in Toaster, falls in love with itself, and then just loses the will to live and dies as soon as Toaster leaves. It's kind of like Black Swan in a way, but only sadder and condensed into about 10 seconds and snuck into a G-rated children's film. Oh, and this isn't even to mention the goddamn Nightmare Clown. Penny who? You know, the one who chases Toaster with water and forks? Objects known to kill toasters? Oh, and the climax of that dream, where Toaster drops into a bathtub, is indeed a reference to the popular self-deletion method of dropping Toaster into the bathtub with yourself. Again, this movie is rated G, and in this case, G for goddamn! Now here's the thing. As much shit as I'm giving this movie, I actually kinda love it. Like, look, kids, I think, are generally, I don't want to say smarter, but I do think a little more aware than we often give them credit for. Like, I was in grade school back when 9/11 and Columbine happened. I'm from the first generation to grow up with mass shooter drills as just a normal part of our school year routine. Kids know the world is not a safe place. They are acutely aware that bad things can and sometimes do happen to them. And I think we do a big disservice to kids when all kids media is just bubble wrapped. You know, back in the 80s and 90s, we had a slew of demented kids movies. Secrets of NIMH, Watership Down, Plague Dogs, Spirited Away even. No Face is fucking terrifying in that movie. Today's kids movies, pretty neutered by comparison. I'm just saying, if you actually care about shaping a child into an adult, I don't know if you're doing them a service by shielding them from reality all the time. So something like this could be a good way to introduce a kid to some darker subjects and topics that are worth learning about. That said, there's a difference between watching this with, like, a kindergartner and first grader, watching it with them and trying to answer some questions they have, and just leaving your toddler alone with this as the babysitter. Then again, I love my children way too much to force them to exist in this sewer of a world, so now what do I know? So look, yes, this movie has some fun little songs, it has some nice little animations, there's definitely a charm to it. Without question, a deceptively dark, morbid, twisted movie. And in a way that actually makes it more interesting. Anyway, those are my thoughts on The Brave Little Toaster. Do you guys agree? Do you think I'm overstating it? What are some of your favorite messed up children's movies? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, as always, that a like and subscribe really helps this channel grow, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, stay sane, stay human.